All right. All right. Not the game we were looking for out of the Celtics tonight. They played the Brooklyn Nets, lost 109 to 102 in a game that I had believed we all thought was going to be a win, right? Like we knew Kyrie Irving was out. We knew Marcus Smart was out. Aaron Baines, obviously, he's out. But do we know the Celtics were going to get punked? And I don't care that it was a 7-point win. Can we all agree that was the Nets punked the Celtics, right? That wasn't a 7-point game. The Celtics went on a huge run towards the end of the game, and that led to them making it a game, at least on the scoreboard, 109 to 102. But that wasn't a game. That was not a game. You know what I mean? The Nets punked the Celtics tonight. They did. And again, we knew it. We knew Kyrie was out. We knew Marcus Smart was out. This team won without Gordon Hayward, without Kyrie Irving for so many games last year, right? We knew it. We knew these guys were out. We knew to game plan for that. It wasn't like Kyrie got hurt in the first minute and then it was like oh shit, what do we do now? No. They just blew that game. There's issues with this team. I said it in my last stream. I'm saying it now. There's issues with this team. There really is. Z Celtics says people will say we showed heart in that last quarter, but that performance still stank. That's true. It's ridiculous. Like, I know that green teamers, and I'm one myself. Everyone's gonna be like, oh well, they showed heart. They almost came. Come on, it's the Nets, and you got blown out. 7-point finish. I get it. 7-point finish. I get it. But that is not a 7-point game. Bullshit if you're going to tell me they showed heart in that last quarter. They did, but I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Like, good. I'm glad that they actually came back and actually showed a little bit of playing today. At least they played a little bit. There's one guy on the court tonight. One guy on the court tonight that actually played basketball. Two. I'll count two. I'll give you Jaylen Brown. But Jason Tatum? Again, Kyrie's out. Jason Tatum's like, fuck it, this is my team, right? It's turning into a bad thing. Yeah, Walter says, my hat didn't bring any luck. If you missed my video on Twitter, I found this hat just before game time. It's from the, I think it's the 92 Dream Team logo. I found it. I thought it was going to bring luck. This used to be my lucky hat. Look at how beaten and bruised it is. It's yellow. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but this hat has been through the ringer. Didn't help whatsoever. It's crazy. It's tough. Alb Oreste. I hope I'm saying your name right there. It says blow it up, build around Tatum and Brown. We could talk about that for a second. When you say blow it up, what do you mean? Do you mean get rid of Kyrie Irving? Do you mean get rid of Hayward? Like, what are we looking at here? Is Kyrie Irving included in the rebuild? Because I don't even know. I don't know where we're at right now. That wasn't okay. Think about this. I don't care about injuries or anything. Screw it all. Our last 3 games, Miami Heat, Orlando Magic. Oh, the Nets. We can at least beat the Nets. Come on. It's like the Celtics are ready, looking onward to Toronto. And you know what? They're probably going to go and beat Toronto on Wednesday, and everyone's going to get back to, yeah, let's go. Ups and downs, inconsistencies. It's ridiculous. Title City Boston says Brad needs to get better control of these guys, both on and off the court. I mean, I just think that he needs, I don't know, maybe Brad needs to step in more. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but they flash to him in the middle of games, and he's kind of just sitting there like, and I know that's his coaching style, very low demeanor. You don't know what he's thinking. You don't know what he's planning, but maybe a little bit of emotion out of the coach would help these guys. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Pivot Celtics says Wanamaker is better than Rozier. Seriously, I do love my man Rozier, but I thought he was going to have a good game tonight. He just didn't even come close. Derek White says this is the perfect game for Hayward to be a point forward and take over. And what did Hayward do? Hayward, let me pull up the box score real quick. Hayward, dropped a whopping 3 points. 3 points. And led the team in the opposite direction of plus minus with minus 22. I'll give a lot of credit to Jaylen Brown tonight. He played 32 minutes in that game, and he had a plus 14 plus minus, along with 22 points. Good for him. Good for Jaylen Brown. A guy that's had a lot of hate this year. Good for Jaylen Brown. Trevor Wilson OG says, why are we waiting till the last 6 minutes for everyone to turn up? Exactly. It's like, I give no credence to that last half quarter there. I don't care. It's great. I'm thrilled that team came back and at least showed a little bit of a fight. So it wasn't a total failure, but I don't give a damn that they came back. Still a shit game. No one performed. No one performed. And I don't know, does that speak to missing Kyrie Irving or does that speak to Marcus Smart? Or does it just speak to this team not caring? Someone tweeted, I believe it was Mike Walsh on Twitter, replied and said this team just doesn't give a shit. And I couldn't describe that game more. That last few minutes, sure, you could say they gave a shit, but that team didn't give a shit for 45 minutes or so, Kyle Houston too says they need a play to win the game. They're just playing it. Exactly. They're just going through the motions. Celtics are going through the motions. Tommy says WTF, bro. Couldn't you took the words right out of my mouth. What the fuck happened tonight? What happened? Gregory Fiala says, didn't watch the game since he's at the Bruins, but losing to the Nets is unacceptable. You know what? I envy you, Gregory. I envy you for being able to miss that game. That was a game that didn't necessarily thrill anyone. I know the Bruins are losing right now too, so we'll see. We'll see how that one turns out. But you know what? At least the Bruins are only down 1 goal. Celtics, they lost by 1,000,000 points in my mind. In my mind, and in your mind, you should think the Celtics got blown out that game. Even though they finished 7 points away from a victory, they were nowhere near winning that game. Killcoin8 says Brad needs to tighten up the rotation. I think Brad needs to do something. I really do. I think that I can't really accept them flashing to him on the bench, and when they're losing by like 8 points, him just having this straight face. I know that's his coaching style. I know it. I get it. But there's something I need some more emotion out of him. You know what I mean? Even like in the Patriots, and I don't know if you're all Patriots fans, but when you watch Patriots and Bill Belichick shows that little bit of emotion, it fires everybody up. Because he's just calm, cool, and collected, very monotone guy. And the minute he shows some sort of energy, like when he told Adam Thielen to sit the fuck down, it fires everyone up. Brad Stevens needs to show that little bit of emotion. He does. Tommy, you're saying the Celtics built a brick house? They built a big brick house. Can't guard 23 says Terry's the problem. Need to get rid of him for a shooter. Yeah, I think that this team has underlying problems too that go. I'll agree with you there. Terry's not a good fit right now, but I think that this also, this team has underlying problems. I think this team has big time underlying problems. Title City Boston asks, what were Al Horford's stats for the game? I think they took Al out after 20 minutes to kind of save him for Wednesday. He had 8 and 4 tonight. That's it. 8 points, 4 assists actually. Kyle Houston says Tatum on the other hand had a career high. I think it was his first 30-point game, 34 points. Yeah, Tatum impressed the hell out of me. Even Jaylen Brown didn't give up. Out of everyone on this team, Jaylen Brown didn't give up. Tatum kept scoring, but Jaylen Brown was like going pedal to the metal. Good for him. Walter says, again, time for Brad to bruise the egos. I did see that in the chat before. I didn't get to it. I think it's true. Brad's got to start, alphaing these guys. He really does. It's okay to be a player's coach and just agree with everything your players are doing, but I'm yet to see him kind of dig into one guy. I saw him once. I think it was when they got blown out in New York earlier, and he said to he said to Tatum when he took him out, he said, if you're not going to try, you're going to sit down. And I loved seeing that. It was just in the corner of the camera. They didn't even mean to show it on TV, and I saw it, and I liked it. It's just it's tough. SP Nation 74 says Jaylen and Terry need to go. They aren't buying into the team concept and defensive lapses. Like I just said, I'll give Jaylen Brown credit for tonight because he really didn't give up. He didn't give up, but he didn't have he did have a good game. Don't get me wrong, but there's times where Jaylen just doesn't know what he's doing out there. But I have a hard time shitting on Jaylen tonight just because he was one of the only Celtics tonight. He showed that Celtic energy tonight. He did. So it's I don't know. It's I don't want to shit on Jaylen too much. Terry had all the opportunity in the world playing the Brooklyn Nets. 7 points, 3 of 12 from the field, -11 ±, 5 assists, 7 points and 5 assists. Really, Terry? It's tough. Title City Boston comes in and says, do you think Ainge will make a trade? He's not in panic type, but ... I think a trade's coming. I think it has to come. I don't even know if it's a minor one or a major one. I just think it has to happen. I think a trade has to come. I want a trade to come, whether it be just a simple trade, sure. Whether it's a blockbuster, sure. I think I want to hold on to Tatum now, though. You know, unless it's for Anthony Davis, I'll say that. You know, but like other than that, I don't even want Tatum packaged with anyone else to get anyone. And I think you also agree with that. Like, you don't want to trade Tatum for anyone less than Anthony Davis, but I'm still on the fence with those two names. But Tatum's 2 times now he's had a tremendous game with Kyrie being out. And that's what we want from Jason Tatum. 12 of 19 from the field. Again, this is going to be a game where everyone's like, he shot so much. He could shoot a million times. If he's going to have that percentage, keep on shooting, buddy. Keep on shooting. Connor Check says trade Tatum and trade Kyrie and Hayward for Davis. I don't know if the Pelicans would do that. I really don't. Kyrie on a contract and Hayward coming off an injury. I don't know if the Pelicans would do that. You know? Tommy, you say that the Celtics made D'Angelo Russell look like Kobe Bryant. D'Angelo Russell just looked like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and James Harden. If they all just had some sort of test tube baby. He was unreal. And he is a good player. I liked him in college. Kind of faded him out on the Lakers. Kind of faded him out up until this season. But he's had a good year. He kind of stunk in Boston when the Celtics played him. But he's a good player. But, I mean, erupting for what did he have? Let me pull up theirs. He had 34 as well. Like, there were shots where he had two shots, I think. 2 threes after the whistle. Makes them. That's another. So he had a 40-point night if those had counted. Maddie says, your history teacher and you are both Pats fans, so you celebrated in class. There you go. Yep. Patriots are one good thing to look at right now. One good thing to look at. But, unfortunately, I have to stick to Celtics here, and that stunk. Let's see. The real Kelly NG says, Celtics blow it up like the Cavs did at the deadline last year. I don't know if they'll blow it up because they just do have so much talent. I think they just need to thin things out. And that sounds really weird, but I do think they need to thin things out. Like, all right, you know what? We can't have Kyrie, Tatum, Brown, Hayward, Terry, all Marcus Morris maybe even. You know, who knows? They could trade Marcus Morris on a contract year. Who knows? Walter, you're right. Too many players for the Rock. They can't all play together. You know, they just can't. There's no absolute alpha because you want it's not like a LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. They're all established guys and they're going to defer to LeBron. No, you want Kyrie handling the rock, but guess what? Tatum's your future. You know, Tatum's the guy that you want to build on. So it's a tough situation. Let's talk real quickly about. I'm glad that he apologized, but Kyrie Irving's been just running his mouth to the media. I'd be fucking pissed if I was Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. The way Kyrie Irving says, oh, well, the young guys need to do this. They don't know what it's like to do this. It gets hard. Kyrie, you're a 26-year-old kid that won a championship on the back of LeBron and now have a team of your own and haven't done shit with them. So I'm done with Kyrie talking to the media. I know there's been a lot of disagreement with that, and I do see it. I totally see it. Like I was texting KJ the other night, and he just said, you know, well, he's got to say it. So whatever. If you want to think that way, I'm totally fine with that. But personally, I just don't want Kyrie talking to the media. Kyrie was when they lost to Magic. Kyrie was at the arena for 2 extra hours, 30 minutes of which he was just running his mouth. Did you see the size of that quote? Shut your mouth one time and just talk to the guys. Yeah, they've had closed-door meetings and it hasn't worked. Well, then don't do a closed-door meeting. Just say to someone, hey, do this. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want him running his mouth to the media. The way that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are going to find out that Kyrie's upset with them is via a tweet. Really? Like, Jason Tatum's going to hear, oh, Kyrie's saying that the young guys don't have experience and don't know what it's like. Well, that's a good message to be sending, Kyrie, leader. So I want to see a little bit more leadership out of him because he can't just think he's LeBron the way he talks and stuff. I get it. He played with him for years. But I got to see a little bit more action from Kyrie in a leadership role. Like Gordon Hayward making a pass to a Jason Tatum in the short corner for the win in Miami, in Orlando. And then Kyrie has the nerve right after the game to go like this and bitch out Hayward. That just doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like seeing that whatsoever. Walter says, right now, a win over the Raptors means nothing, as you even said. Everybody, let's see, sorry, I misread that. Right now, A win over the Raptors will mean nothing. As you said, everybody of work. It's if the Celtics go and now beat the Raptors on Wednesday, we're gonna hear so many Celtics being like, "This team is ready. They're here. They're back." I'm not falling into that again. I'm just not. I hate to say it, but I'm not falling into the Celtics are back. This season has issues. And out of everyone that I see tweeting about it, all big people on Twitter and stuff, it's like, it's like, oh, this is a great team. Like they just got to figure it out. Bullshit. You know what I mean? Like this is a growing pain year. That's what it is. This year isn't gonna get all of a sudden finals contender like. Z Celtic says, Kyrie's form ain't been legendary enough the past few games, and he's been running his mouth like it has. Yeah, and you know what? Kyrie is doing everything he can out there. I'll give him that. Kyrie's had a great year. A little bit of an inconsistent year, but he's had a good year. But just, a leader doesn't run his mouth. You don't bitch him out, especially to the media. You know what I mean? Like, especially the media. If he wants to bitch out the young guys in the locker room, or even if the media overhears him saying it, different than staying 2 hours late in the locker room talking to the media and giving a paragraph as a quote. Walter says, retire the hat. Hat's retired. I'll still wear that hat because I love that hat, but you're right. That hat just led to the Nets absolutely bullying the Celtics. So no more. KJ says, I probably got hat here now. KJ says, my point is Kyrie doesn't get enough credit for winning that title. He earned it. Yeah, and I think I've wrote a couple articles about that too, that Kyrie pretty much won that game. But Kyrie wasn't the leader of that team, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I need to see Kyrie leading a little bit more, like leading a team to victories. There's one thing to be the leader on the team, but there's another thing to lead teams to victories. Killcoin says, I agree with Kyrie after that Magic game, that reaction. It was just bullshit to me. I'd rather him bitch to the media than do it right on the court. I just don't do that. That could be any player. And I wouldn't like that. Jay Caesar says, honestly, too many players need minutes. I can agree with that. It's the truth. Everything we're saying in this chat right now is true, which tells me that there are legitimate issues, that there's too many issues and too big of issues to just work out in the next, 30 games? It's not going to work like that. It doesn't work like that. Maybe next season, like I'm all for saying the Celtics are going to be good next season, right? Right? Like, I'm still 100% Team Celtics, but I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm seeing so many people on Twitter saying like everything's fine. Oh, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Like when I tweeted out the video of Marcus Morris pushing Jaylen Brown, and then I wrote the article the next day about my reactions, and I got comments like that was nothing. It's that's the heat of the moment. Marcus Morris and Jaylen Brown, they got physical on the bench. Heat of the moment. It's not okay. There are little things wrong with this team, and that's okay too. You don't just stop being a Celtics fan with this, but I think it's time that we drop our expectations just a little bit. The real Kelly NG says, Rozier, Jaylen Brown, and a first rounder for Bradley Beal. I love Bradley Beal. I don't know if that's too much. Like I've said before, I would definitely do Jaylen in a pick for Bradley Beal. What do you guys think? Rozier and Jaylen and a first for Bradley Beal? Let me know what you think. Son of Judah comes in and just goes, we suck. I did retire my lucky hat, though, so hopefully that'll bring some things around. And if you've noticed, I changed up the graphics here, wherever they are. Hopefully that'll spark something in the Celtics, too. Jay Caesar says he would do that trade in a heartbeat. Maddie says he'd do that. Maddie says she would do that trade in a heartbeat. So, yeah, I mean, we got people saying you just... Again, that's also addition by subtraction. Yeah, you're giving up a lot, but you're giving up two guys that want the rock for one guy that wants the rock. And I think he's better than both of them. Okay, let's do this. 19 says, is Brad scared to upset some guys? I think so. I think Brad is, and I think Brad needs to, alpha these guys a little bit. I keep saying that. I don't know. I just think he does. I'm depressed, man. This is scary from Son of Judah. Yeah, don't be depressed. This is your therapy. I'm your right here. I got you. We're all feeling the same way. No need to be depressed, but this is fucking scary. And it's depressing. Just don't full go depression mode on me. I'll be your therapy. You can tweet at me. You can message me. We got this. This is what we'll talk it out. Come on the streams. We'll talk it out. Chris Lavino, I think I'm saying your name right, hopefully. Thoughts on D'Angelo's growth this year? Yeah, I was saying it earlier. Like, I loved him in college. I really did. Then he kind of tinkered off, in my opinion, on the Lakers. Like, I just got cold on him. Same thing up until now. This year he's had a very good year. Like I was telling some buddies when they played the Nets a couple days ago, a week ago or so, I was like, D'Angelo Russell's gonna hurt the Celtics. So it looks like I was a game off. But I do think D'Angelo's been real good this year. Maddie, you're saying we need to bring our expectations down with and remain patient. Yeah, it's true. Let's see. We're talking Golden Rad KE says which trade we're talking. Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, and a pick for Bradley Beal. Would you do that? Let's see. That some. I think we're at like 3-1 on that trade. Killcoin says, how do I feel about a trade for Vucevic? I've been asked that on streams before, and I've always been kind of up and down with it. Like, do I want Vucevic? Do I not? I go back and forth. I really do. So I don't even have a good. Like, I'm almost impartial to him as a player. I think he would be a good fit on this team, but I'm impartial to him as a player in terms of, trade. Like, I don't know if I would trade Jaylen Brown for Vucevic, even though I would think moving Jaylen Brown could be smart. Okay, let's do this 19. Now brings up something that I've seen all over Twitter, and people have been tweeting at me. I think it's a really good point. If Kyrie sees this team not trying enough, does he leave? Yikes. I don't know. Like, I thought Kyrie was 1,000% staying. I thought he was 1,000% staying. I don't know. Does he leave? He might. I'm not going to say he's 100% staying. Son of Judah, good question here. Says, can we beat any of these teams in a 7-game series? Milwaukee, Philly, or Toronto? I think we can beat Philly. 1,000%. I think we own Philly's ass. I do. They're a good team. Hella talent. But we can beat Philly. Indiana, on the other hand, I think that, I don't know if we could beat them in a 7-game. I love that team. You also ask, how low are we going to lower our expectations? I just think take the growth as it comes. That's a really weird answer, but the Celtics, you're not a shoo-in for the finals, right? Beginning of the year, we're like, oh, who's going to play them from the Western Conference? Can they beat the Warriors? It's probably going to be the Warriors. No. I don't know how low you can lower your expectations, but definitely lower them as to what they are now. You know what I mean? Like, take each game as it is. Want to be a huge Celtics fan, but just want every win, but do not expect them to win the finals. Don't even expect them to make it to the finals. Don't even expect them to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's a growing pains year. It is. We're going to wrap up in 5 minutes or so keep sending your questions. Killcoin, you say that he would space the floor and help us with rebounding. Yeah, Vucevic, like I said, I'm impartial to him. That's not a bad thing. That really isn't a bad thing. It's just like, as in terms of what will we give up that would make me feel good about it. Jay Caesar says, we also have to hold Horford accountable. Yeah, Horford hasn't had a good year. Horford hasn't even had the year of, oh, well, he does all the little things. He hasn't done that. Horford's had a bad year. He really has. Tommy, you're saying Kyrie can go? We'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's tough now. Let's see. Okay, let's do this as round 2 exit. That should be your expectations. Yeah. The real Kelly NG says, I feel like Robert Williams should play more and turn into a DeAndre Jordan. I think I've said that this is blueprint coming from Texas A&M too. Like, I think that he should take care, Tommy. I think that he should play more. Like, I was flabbergasted that he didn't come in when Al Horford had 3 quick fouls. They went to Tice. Then Semi came in at like a power forward. It was like, come on, just bring him in. It's weird. Does Brad Stevens not like him? Do they not like his game? Does he not know how to play in the system? Could be, but I think that he should be playing. I think he should be playing more. I think we say, screw it, let's play now. You know what I mean? Let's see. TD654 has a really good point. And yeah, it does frustrate me. My guy Rai on here always says it too. Does the amount of people saying the Celtics are better without Kyrie frustrate you like it does to me? Yes, it does. They're not better without Kyrie. They can't trade Kyrie unless it's for Anthony Davis. That's my only thing. This team needs Kyrie. Again, this is actually perfect. Because I wrote an article, you can check it out on GuyBostonSports.com, how everyone was saying the Celtics are so much better with Kyrie. Well, their road record sucks without Kyrie. What did they do tonight? Where were they tonight? On the road. What did they do? They got killed. They need Kyrie Irving. They do. Jay Caesar says Kyrie Irvings don't just grow on trees. No, I agree. I don't want Kyrie Irving to walk. If they're going to trade him for Anthony Davis and get something for him, I could get talked into that. I could. Excuse me. Let's see. We need Kyrie. J. Caesar saying I agree. All right, a couple more minutes here. Last few comments. Sen Bimmons jumps in and says hi. Sixers fan. We were just talking about the Sixers. I think the Celtics they're one of the threats in the East, but I think they're the only team out of the four that Celtics can still beat. But Sixers might have more talent, more young talent right now. Like I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. TD64 says expectations. Expectations, you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sorry. Let's go back to your last comment. Is the amount of people saying that Kyrie's Celtics are better without Kyrie? Yeah, I mean it's the Celtics just aren't better without Kyrie. Not right now. Maybe when Jason Tatum develops into a star, and Kyrie Irving will be a little bit older. Like if Kyrie's here for the long haul, Jason Tatum, he's gonna take this team over. He is. Do you think Horford is protected by Boston media coming from Golden Radke? It's a good point. I think up until now he's kind of justified himself, but the fact that he hasn't caught any heat, I would say that he's been protected this year. Sen Bimmons says we need a damn bench. Y'all will keep owning us. It's weird for me because I love the guys on the Sixers. I love Indy. Bucks I like. I don't like the guys in Toronto. I don't really like the Bucks, but Indy and Philly there's some pieces on the team that I'm just crazy envious of. But it's just like the proof is in the pudding. The Celtics have just owned Philly for now. A few years from now, who knows? Orlando is trying to trade for DSJ. I'm sure they see Terry and are like, hell no. Yeah, right. Like if he's on the market, then Terry's almost like a peg down right now. Derek Myers perfectly put. We don't need to make a rush for a trade if it's not for AD. I agree. Unless you're going to trade like tertiary guys or secondary guys like Terry Rozier or things like that. Like if you're going to move those guys, I think you could make some sort of move. And I love Terry. I know you guys are going to hate me. I do. I'm a huge Terry guy. I just think he could strive somewhere else. Like maybe the Celtics aren't for him. Kyrie, Tatum, and Hayward are the only untouchables in my opinion. Yeah, I'm probably with you there. I'm probably with you there. Again, we'll take a few more questions. We got this stream up pretty high. Now it's trickling off. Only about 30 of you in here, but a few more questions and we'll close things up. I gotta get to sleep after a loss like that. I gotta get a quick start on my nightmares. Did Gordon play tonight? I'm laughing because one of my buddies texted me the exact same thing. He literally was just like, "Did Gordon Hayward even play tonight?" He sucked tonight. He did. And I'm definitely looking for him to start having better games, and he did. He had better games. Just didn't. Title City Boston updates us on the Bruins, 30 seconds in OT. What a night. Bruins lost. Looks like Derek's catching a little bit of heat for saying Hayward's an untouchable. I would say Hayward's an untouchable for a weird reason. Just hear me out, guys. Hear me out, guys. Hayward, if you trade him now, you're trading him at a huge loss. You know? Like a huge loss. Because you're not going to get anything close to anything in return. That's my thing. So you might as well let the guy who has a legit excuse, you might as well let him kind of find his way back into a thing. That's the reason I think he's an untouchable player. Because I don't want to touch him and trade him for something that's like absolute dog shit. You know? That's the thing. I don't think I would call him an untouchable because of his skill right now. But maybe he's like, I don't want to trade him, you know? Like, I don't want to trade him for nothing. And that's what we would get. A guy that just had 3 points tonight and paying millions, $28 million. Something like that. That's it. Steven 23 Taylor says trade Rozier ? And also, are you seriously not worried about this team? Oh, I've said it. I wouldn't use worried. I don't like saying that when talking about sports. Like I kind of find that fraudulent. I'm like, oh, I'm scared of this, scared of that. I do say it. I make the slip sometimes, but I'm not worried about this team because I'm starting to just be self-aware about this team or team aware. Like I don't think they're gonna win the championship this year. I don't think they're gonna get to the Eastern Conference Finals. If they do, then my expectations will get blown out. Good. I'm a Celtics fan. Boom. Love it. But I'm not worried about them in the long term. Like Tatum showing more and more. Even if they don't make any moves, this team's going to get better. They have guys that will individually get better. You know what I mean? Like, maybe their chemistry won't get better, but guys will get better. They're a young team. Connor Check, just give me Brad Beal, he says. I love Bradley Beal, I do. All right, guys, we're going to close up. for tonight. Thanks for all the viewers and the comments. We killed that stream. Make sure we'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Make sure you're hitting that heart button if you're on the phone. Smash the screen to get those hearts flying. If you're on the desktop, make sure you're pressing the heart in the bottom right corner. We'll take a couple more questions. Smash that heart button. Show some love. Get more people in here for next time. All the hearts matter on Periscope, and it gets more people in here. So smash those hearts, guys. What's the max trade you would make for AD? Tatum and Kyrie are the only untouchables for me. Thank you, guys. You are showing the love right now real quick. What's the max trade you would do for AD? I'm starting to lean back away from Tatum being traded for AD, but I'm still right on the fence. Like, that's such a hard question for him to answer, to be honest. It's tough for me to answer that. So I'm not going to... I don't know. I would trade Kyrie for AD almost before I would trade Tatum for AD. Does that make me crazy? It might. Jay Caesar, thanks. You saying it's always great, bro? Jeez, I'm tired. It's always great, bro. Yes, it is. We got some great comments in here. Son of Judah, you're out. Peace out, man. And apologies for my hat hair. Walter in the chat made me get rid of my lucky hat. I had to toss it off. I don't even know what this mop's doing. Need a haircut soon. But thank you guys for the love. We'll be back on for next game. Hopefully we get a stream going in the next game. I'll do a video if not. We'll see. We'll talk to you guys later. Let's turn this thing around, Celts. Let's turn this thing around, all right? Come on now. Let's go.